cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking.
Shut up, boo. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, sir.
But it is. This is a good Wednesday morning. Happy hump day. Hump day. Mike. Turn off your cell phone. In this case, leave it on because you got to hear me wherever you're at. And you can do that through the free Undefined Radio app or right here on Facebook and YouTube on After Dark. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. That's right. Appreciate it. It's Wednesday, September 24th. September 24th as we're getting through this day. And I got to tell you, I'm going to have to change the places I go for weather because apparently this one was woefully inaccurate, the one I gave y'all yesterday. And this is supposed to be from a celebrated, reliable weather forecasting center, which may tell you how unreliable the weather actually is. Either way, because we know these predictions are just that, they're based on percentages. What could or could not happen, there's no guarantee this stuff will ever work. But this one was way off, right? This one was way off. And we need something good. We need something good. Because that one yesterday, it's been that way for a couple of days. Like, it's changed so much. Like, I am trying to find a spot that's at least going to be a little accurate in what we're doing. All right, what's happening? I need something for the SIP. I know for where we're at to say, hey, what does our forecast look like around here? And that's going to be an important thing going forward with thunderstorms. Like I woke up and walked out this morning to go train. I'm like, wait a minute. What just happened? What just happened? Why is all this happening outside right now? Where did this weather come from? Because it wasn't on the radar yesterday. So something we definitely got to look at here. And I need to find a better one. Need to find a better forecast for what's going on right here. Because right now it's overcast at 72 where I'm at, or just south of Memphis. So there's that. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful where you get your weather information from and how accurate they are. Because, like, there's never a guaranteed rainfall amount. Like, they can tell you, we believe it's going to rain this percentage, right? We can tell you that it may be this much chance of rain in the forecast, which is smart. Leave yourself an out. Well, I told y'all it was only 99%, and unfortunately hit that 1%. And there it is. Like today, we're supposed to have showers and thunderstorms all the way before 4 o'clock. Then it tapers off. There might be a shower after 5. It's going to be a high near 83. Yesterday, they told us it was going to be 82, which is pretty accurate on this one. It was before that 78, which I prefer the 70s. The 70s kind of weather is good. But we'll go into the forecast in more detail later on in the show. But as it is, we appreciate everybody who's been contributing to the show, who has sent me things to talk about on the show. And that's been fun. That's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool, the audience participation, letting me know what's going on in the community. Because there's a lot going on in our communities. I mean, there's a ton that's happening. We just don't seem to get to hear about it. And there's more going on in some communities rather than others. All right. It's just, I would say to these community leaders, you're elected for a reason for your community. All right. Your job is your community. Your job is enhancing the community you live in. All right. It's not a chance for you to have a personal pat me on the back session. It's for you to get out there. You wanted to serve your community. Go serve your community and not your own self-interest. How about that? All right. That's an important distinction. Because it seems you get a lot of these people who get voted into office and they're just in it for themselves. Truly. Now, I will say, you've got some people who go in there and you're faced with some tough decisions you got to make. Some that people aren't just going to like sometimes. And those are conversations that have to be had as well. Because as much as people like to complain, sometimes they really don't understand why they're complaining or what they're complaining about or the intricacies behind it. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. You'll see people bellyache for no reason because they don't really understand what they're talking about. They just know it doesn't sound right to them, so they got to voice their opinion without ever. Again, it goes back to research. We use that word a lot because it is important when you're talking about things. You've got to do some research. Now, it makes it difficult when you're trying to do research and there's absolutely nothing out there. So then you're only left with supposition. That's all you're left with because nobody's communicating. That's why you need a transparent government. You may not like what's happening, but at least you know about it, right? At least you know the reason for it. You don't have to like it, but at least you're not in the dark. And that to me is the important part of it. Don't leave us in the dark in these communities. And community leaders, go out there and lead your community. Help your community. It's one of the reasons I love Batesville so much. Batesville has its problems like every other town has their problems. We're all going to have a certain amount of problems in our communities. But they have gone above and beyond in trying to make their downtown area a safe haven of quality shopping. They've got that old small town feel to it. And I love a good small town feel. I don't like large cities. I don't. Yeah, it's fun to go visit large cities sometimes and see all the things going on, but nothing beats a small town who actually cares about its community. You can go to their square area, like in Batesville right now. They have really, really done something wonderful with that square down in Batesville. I mean, they have just put in some time and some effort. They've got those old-fashioned lampposts are down there, and they just went and they rewired all the speakers. They put speakers everywhere. So when you're shopping on the square, and they've got a lot of great shops down there. We talked about one yesterday. That you can do it with this music that you can hear everywhere. This great shopping music. We've got the holidays coming up, so there's going to be great holiday stuff happening down there. They're going to have ice skating in November. How cool is that? That's awesome. Fun stuff like that. Community events where you can go out there and just chill and enjoy your community. There's something ethereal about that when you're part of a community like that. When you can go out there and just enjoy the sights, the sounds, and the ambiance of the seasons, right? And this fall is the best season, and I've been saying it, I'll keep saying it. You see what I've got in my background back here, right? I love this type of year. I wish I had those kinds of trees in my yard. I have stupid pine trees. I have pine trees, and I like pine trees out in the country. When I'm hunting and going out there and doing that. But I don't like them near my house because all you're getting is pine needles everywhere. And those suckers are hard to get up and get rid of. And they get on everything. And then you got the ticks that come with those, right? It's crazy. And so, but I love the fall. I love the colors of the fall. Like, I don't want to live up north. I have no desire to live up north. But by God, you look at some of the beautiful scenery in places like Vermont. How gorgeous is Vermont in the fall? One of the most beautiful places on earth, as far as I'm concerned. Have no desire to live there up north, but I would spend a fall season in a place like Vermont just because it's so beautiful. And I would never get tired of waking up, looking out my window or going outside and being a part of that. And I just wish some of these small communities down here would get their stuff together and do that. I think Senatobia is finally trying to get stuff like that done. I think some of our constituents down here don't quite understand it, but they are at least trying to get something going on here in this town. They're trying to beautify our main street, it needs it. Like redoing these buildings downtown and putting things in there and getting people to come in and open businesses here is important. You got to have that. And why? But the worst part is people don't really support their own communities too. Let's not try to escape our share of the blame here. on why some of these things fail. People don't necessarily go out and support their communities. They don't. That's right. Y'all know it's true. Like, we have nice places around here, then some people won't go out and support them. Then we wonder why we can't have nothing. Well, there's a reason. There's a reason. Like here in Senatobia, they've opened up Woodchucks, which I love Woodchucks. Retro pizza beside it, I love it. I mean, I love the ambiance of it. It's cool. It's cool. Bonchivos is coming. They've been working on that building and getting that, and I'm glad to see that they're coming in. But they've done a lot on that main street to really beautify our downtown area, and I'm glad. We need that. There's so much history that's come through this town, and why we should be capitalizing on that, not running from it. Saying, hey, there's a certain ambiance we want in our city. Let's go. Why aren't we doing that? We need to do that. Because nothing makes me happier than being able to walk out there. I would love to be able to walk around my town. Just and have that ambiance and that feeling of small town America. Like straight from the 50s. That sensation you get of just being out in there. There's nothing like it. I'd love to be able to drive a golf cart from my home, which is not far from downtown area and the eateries down there. Be able to do that. I would love to do that. All right, there's just something refreshing about doing that. But getting stuff like that to happen is tough. It's tough. So, now one of the things we are going to be doing here on Undefined Voices, and you know what? I just saw. I've been staring at this computer screen all morning. Let's make sure this is done right here. There we go. That's better. That's better. Now we've got it right on the screen. But one of the things we're going to be doing is a prayer chain every morning about 8:50. We do our Michael Bates segment in View of Eternity. And if you know somebody who needs some prayers, you don't have to go into detail. Just put their name in. I put a post up on Undefined Radio's Facebook page. You can go there. You can drop a name on that one, or you can drop it in the comment section down below. I've already got a few names we're doing in the prayer chain before we start in view of Eternity segment this morning. So if you want to do that, you know somebody who needs them, or if you need them yourself, like I said, you don't have to share what the problem is. Definitely, we're not forcing anybody to do that. But drop your name down there, and we'll make sure that gets added to the prayer chain. Because I think it's important. Good vibes for anybody is important. Why would you not want to send out good vibes, request good vibes? Come on. Why would you not want to do that? So let's do that. If you got it out there and you want to add it to it, please do. Please hit that. And be sure you like and you share this show, because you never know who's going to watch it, who may need the show, who may want to participate in the show, which you can do in the comment section through our Facebook and our After Dark YouTube page. Either one of those, you can do that. So what is happening in our area? Well, I know that we got the Tate County Ducks Unlimited Fall Dinner Banquet that's coming up October 10th. That's going to be on a Friday night. I hate that I can't go. I will be calling football for North Delta, so I won't be able to be there. It's going to be at the Northwest Shrine Building at 8647 Highway 51 South Coldwater, Mississippi. Always a good time there. It's going to be great. Tickets are $50 for a single, $80 for a couple, $25 for the youth. And it's $450 plus for the sponsor. If you want to sponsor, you get all kinds of great benefits. You just all you have to do is notify them. If you want to know where this is at and check it out, go to Senatobia Happenings in Tate County. And there's a post there. Go check that out. And see what they've got to offer, especially if you want to be a sponsor of it. Or if you just want to go. They have a lot of good drawings and giveaways that they do. I mean, good stuff. Some stuff we can't really talk about on air because, people love to silence these posts and shows. So you got to be careful about what we say right there. I know Red's Barbecue in Coldwater. They have a lot of good events that they do up there. So you may want to go. Like this Saturday, Gallo Boat, one woman band. She'll be there for a dinner show. You've got on Friday, You've got Terry, harmonica, beans. You like some blues. You like some great music. Friday night, it's going to be a lot of fun. So they have some good stuff going on. So it's exciting. There's stuff in our area to go do. Now, we do have some big news. And out of Batesville, and that's because really today was supposed to be the last day of their farmers market, and it is the last day of their farmers market. Unfortunately, it's been canceled due to the threat of strong thunderstorms today. That farmers market has been canceled for today. Hate to inform you guys of that. I don't know about the one in San Antonio. I'm assuming it is. But yeah, the one today in Batesville has been canceled. It's the last one of the season. And they'll have one. They'll start back up again next year. And we'll, of course, keep you updated as to all the goings on with that. Hated to hear that, though. Hated to hear that that they're not going to have their final day. That's always a good time. And remember, they have their fall concert night on the square, which is tomorrow night on Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30. Blue Mother Tupelo will be there. That's presented to you from Academy Sports and Communicare. And I talked about, Academy Sports being open down there now. Hobby Lobby. Now, I don't know if they're actually open or what's happening with that. I don't know yet. So I wish I could find out. I'm trying to find out for you guys so I'll know more accurately what's going on with that. Because I'm really not sure. Not 100% sure. I know Magnolia Heights homecoming is this Friday. Get ready for that. I think they take on Heritage Academy. We will be going full depth into the football, Friday night football, Friday morning, right here with Barry Perkins. So Barry was, I believe he was 100%. I don't know how the Saturday game went because I haven't heard, but I believe Barry's batting 1,000 on his picks so far. I believe he's batting 1,000 right now on his picks. Zen says in Southern Cal, the cities are nothing more than corporate stores. Yeah. I think those folks need that revenue to survive, and they really do. And it's, like I said, I hate it. And I hate that they are, these farmers markets are big deals. And you get some of the best stuff at these farmers markets. I mean, the best stuff. It's like if I'm going for honey, fruits, I would rather get mine, vegetables, the ones that I eat, I would rather get those from a farmer's market. I would, because you know how fresh and good they are, how they're treated. That's one of those things that I really do hate. They're outside venues, so what do you do? You know what I mean? What do you do when your venue's outside? It's tough. It can be tough, and this is certainly one of those things that I hate that for. I just hate that for the farmers and for the people who go to these and put their wares out for these farmers markets, and then the storms come along that may or may not happen. But when the percentages are so high, you really can't take the chance, especially when you got thunder and lightning involved. So, it can be tough. I hate that for them. I do. I'm with you, Zen. I hate that for them. That's awful. There was something else I was going to talk to you guys about this morning. I'd be dang if I can remember what it was. Because I have been rolling doing farmers market. Yeah, farmers market honey is the truth. I love local grown honey is the way to go. Like if you have allergies, I 100% believe in this. Some people think it may be a placebo effect. I do not. Like I need to get back on. I gotta go get me some more honey. But taking that localized honey, I'll take a couple tablespoons. I used to take a couple tablespoons every day. My allergies took a nosedive. Like they were almost gone. And this time of the year, as we change over these seasons, my allergies get out of control. And honey for me is the way to go. That's my go-to. That is my go-to. I love localized honey. So good. It is so good. Um, we I watched a couple of things. Last night I was going to bed, and before I go to bed, I try to scope out, see if there's something I haven't seen. And I've gotten into this YouTube channel called Tasting History. Tasting History. This dude goes back in history to see how they made certain dishes 100, 200, 300, 400 years ago, and even far earlier than that if he can find the recipe, right? And he makes them now. And it is so wild to see. Like last night, he made a pumpkin pie. It's one I saw last night. He made a traditional pumpkin pie from like 1796, I think the recipe was, from here in America. And one of the first cookbooks, I think, ever made here in America. And so he tells you all the history behind it. And this pumpkin pie was made so different than the way I make my pumpkin pie. But it looked so good. I mean, so good. But it's not made with like sugars and sweeteners in it, except molasses. So that's how they sweetened it. They sweetened this pie with molasses. I can remember the recipe. It was molasses, pumpkin, and he actually took his pumpkin and made his pumpkin fresh. So he didn't buy it out of a can. Did it fresh. You had allspice and you had ginger in it, which I hate ginger. I would substitute that every day with cinnamon. I don't like ginger. I can't stand ginger. And 2 eggs, I think is what he had. And so mixed all that up. It was real runny, even runnier than a normal pumpkin pie looks when you make that. But he makes this thing. He puts it in there and baked it for 90 minutes on 350. And I was like, I don't want to see how this turns out. And he poured it out there and cut into that. And it was the most beautiful pie. Now, wasn't very sweet. So if you need the sweetness part of it, it probably wouldn't be for you. But I am tempted to try it. I kind of want to try that. He made an apple pie from an old English recipe the other day, straight out of Longshanks's rule, that I'm probably not going to try because it looked tough. I don't know. He said it tasted great. He had a lot of great things in it, but I don't know. I wouldn't call that one an apple pie. I call it a fruit pie. So he had apples, pears, figs, and something else he had in there. I can't remember what the other thing was he had, but there was all this stuff in it. So that one was a little different, but it's a fascinating channel. If you get the opportunity and you're looking up for something on YouTube, you want to see something cool, Tasting History is what you ought to check out. Tasting History was a pretty cool channel. It is. It's a really cool channel. And I get up this morning and I'm thinking, I'm going to pop on YouTube. I got to get ready. I got to go train my client. Then I got to get ready to do my radio show. So I have it on and I see this new series by Tucker Carlson. Now, I love Tucker. I don't always agree with what Tucker says, but that's, again, I don't even know why I had to say that. I mean, I really didn't have to say that, to put that out there, because that's just true with everybody. Whatever, I do love watching Tucker. But he has this new series on 9/11 and what actually happened. The conspiracy. And I love a good conspiracy theory. I just don't. How do I say this? When it comes to conspiracy theories, I take them with a grain of salt. I'm fascinated by how they're created, like what people's beliefs in these conspiracy theories are and what goes on and what really fuels them. But this one is not a conspiracy theory. It is a investigative report. It's a 5-part series. It's an investigative report. And I watched the first episode today. It just came out. And oh my God, already you're seeing so many red flags, because they're not trying to say, well, those planes really didn't hit the towers. They're not trying to say any of that. They're telling you why this happened and the government's cover up back then of the whole event, with people who worked there, who worked for the FBI and the CIA at the time. And it is fascinating. It is truly a fascinating doc. It blew me away listening to it, because I'm in there getting ready to hear it, and I have to go back in there and listen, because you got one of the FBI guys who knew about this, knew about the terrorists coming to America well in advance. He sends it to his boss, and she says, no, because they're CIA. He says the FBI doesn't need to know about this right now. There's no point in telling them. It is a fascinating look on the arrogance that goes on in some of these agencies, right? Just a total, and there's nothing more you can say. It's just arrogance. Like, we're not sharing our information. We know best. We're doing this. It's a terrible way to run any kind of agency. It is. And this tells you, that's why I get so fascinated when people say, because somebody is in charge of a certain agency, like they're infallible, like that person is somehow smarter than everybody else, forgetting that that person was promoted, that he's just another human being that was put in a position of power. Not because he's a genius, not because he's the smartest guy on the planet, but because he was doing his job with somebody that liked him, or he kissed enough butt to be put there, or is a yes person, male or female, doesn't matter. And so you see the arrogance of a lot of this thing, and this is just the first episode. There are 4 more. I know you can go to Tucker Carlson's website, tuckercarlson.com, and it's all on there. I think you have to subscribe to it to get all 5 episodes now, or they're going to release the next episode next week. Episode 2 will be next week. And I'm tempted to go to tuckercarlson.com and become a member just so I can watch the next 4 episodes today. It was so good and so fascinating. I mean, you're getting the inside look from people who are there, who are part of these agencies, who are telling you those commissions were wrong and false, and how they were covered up. And look, I'm going to tell you, I don't care who your political side was, and being a Republican, boy, did our side screw this up or what? They were devious, negligent. I mean, and purposefully negligent, criminally negligent in the covering up of this event. You'll not get me to think any differently. Because I'm not one of these people that say, well, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. My party can do no wrong. That is horse crap. If you believe that way, look, just get out of the politics side altogether, because that's not for you. You need to go and just find you a church somewhere, settle in, and just do something positive. Because all that the politics is going to do, if you believe that way, is just going to drive you insane if you're not already there. And that's the truth. You can't go out here all glassy-eyed believing your party is just all just sunshine and rainbows and every day is heaven in your. It's not. And this is just another example of that. It's just another example of that. It's wild. It's a cool documentary. It is. This series has already started just hot and on fire. And it's still one of the things that leads me to believe like that, or leads me to believe, let me slow down here, that Tucker Carlson is one of the best investigative journalists we have, who's not an investigative journalist. And yet, here behind me, what we got going on? Obviously, we've got a advertisement going on that I don't know why that popped up there, but there it is. So it's wild to me. Guys, dudes be wilding. Dudes be wilding out there. So I'm curious as to people, when this is all said and done, when the whole series is over, what people's thoughts are going to be on the CIA, on everybody else, and what's going on with a lot of these things back here. I will be curious for sure about what's going on with that. I can't stand advertisements like that. Get on there. There we go. For those of you listening to our show through the Undefined Radio app, I've got this behind me. I've got super large TV. I put images up. There's a fall image, Halloween image, actually. And for some reason, it goes to commercial. Well, there's no some reason because I'm streaming it off YouTube. That's the reason why. And if you're just joining us, if you want to be part of the prayer chain, you know somebody who needs prayers, drop their name down below. We'll pray for them right before we get to our Michael Bates segment at 8:50. And we'll do that. I've got a post also up on my Undefined Radio page for people to drop a name below. You don't have to talk about what's going on. We're not asking you to do that. Just if people need prayers, need somebody who needs to be prayed for, do that. We'll pray that right before our In View of Eternity segment. All right? I think it's not a lot it's an easy thing to do. How about that? Let's get into our forecast real quick. Today, showers and thunderstorms mainly before 4. Then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm after 5. High near 83, southwest wind around 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 90%. Rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch possible. Now, this is where I sit in Senatobia, Mississippi. Weather is probably a little different where you're at. So be sure that wherever you're listening from, check your local weather. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely before 1 a.m. There's a slight chance of showers between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low of around 66. Chance of precipitation about 60% Thursday. A chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny, high near 80. Thursday night, a low around 59. Friday's going to be sunny, a high near 81. Look at these low temps. I love temps here. We just get into the 70s. We're going to be good. Friday night, mostly clear. Saturday, sunny, high near 83. Still not bad. Saturday night's going to be clear, low around 57. Sunday, high near 86. That's a little toasty. Let's bring it down. But it's going to be a beautiful weekend. We get through the next couple of days of rain, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. And that is your local forecast. As I said, if you're living somewhere else, be sure you check what your forecast is going to be with your local people down there. And what else do we have going on? We've got some other things happening in our areas. You know, we were talking about bingo. We need bingo halls around here. I would love to have a good bingo hall around here. That is something from my childhood I miss so bad. We used to go play bingo when we go to my mother's house. Me and my brother and my sister, we would go. Mom would take us to do 2 things every time we went. We went bowling. Mom taught us how to bowl. She used to be in the bowling league. And we would go play bingo. Bowling and bingo. And I can remember going in Longview, Texas, this huge bingo hall. And there's so many people in there, young, old. Didn't matter. They'd have their bingo cards, however many they were trying to play. And then they had the little daubers, right? Little red daubers, blue daubers, green daubers, black ones, whatever color. And they're just bump, bump, bump. Numbers be called out. You have the guy up there with the big bingo ball rack. They're rolling it. They're picking the balls out. Call them out. And I love the shout when people shout, bingo! Especially elderly people. That was always the most fun. But it was so much fun to do because there's something about playing bingo. I don't know what it is, but there is something about playing bingo that is just fun to do. Taking that little dauber and going because you're just hoping. And maybe that's it. It's the hope that you're so close. You are so close to getting bingo. And you're waiting for somebody else to say it before you say it. You're like, please don't let them say it. Call my number. And it doesn't happen. Or then it does. And you're so excited when it actually finally does. And they play different types of bingo games like blackout, 4 corners, all these things. We need a good bingo hall where we're at. And I know there's some stodgy people going to say, well, with bingo, you shouldn't be allowed to give away money with bingo. Why? They would do money. They do TV sets. At the time, they give away all kinds of stuff. This round we're playing for, boom. This one is for, boom. Why not? What harm are you doing? Not doing any harm. You're going to give that money somewhere. And if you're playing a game, you just happen to win, then great. You just happen to win. But I would rather do that than go spend my money on just things that don't make me happy. Right? Like, I would much rather give my money to a bingo hall than a casino. I'm just telling you, 100% of the time, I would go to a bingo hall because most people at a bingo hall are cool. They are. They're just all happy everybody's there having a good time. It's a social event and a cool social event. I played bingo when I was young at the local Catholic church. Yeah. And what fond memories. At least I have fond memories. And maybe that's just me, but everybody I've talked to about this has loved the idea because they remember that from their youth. It's fun. Something you can bring the kids to, and they can have fun. Because kids like to mark on things, and now they're learning numbers as they do it. I can imagine a beautiful bingo hall laid out, a community deal. You got snacks and stuff over here, because that's what they would do there at that bingo hall we played at. Like they had their little concessions over here, so you could go. Everybody was just so friendly, and you go out there and you just play bingo. And when somebody won, everybody's just congratulating them, yeah, clapping for them. Let's go. Even the rest of us who lost were still clapping for them because it was exciting. You can instill stuff like that again. When I talk about these small town vibes, that's what I'm talking about. Things like that are so much fun to me. And I realize bingo's played in big cities too. I'm not saying, I'm just talking about there's a feel to it. There's an absolute feeling you get from doing that. And I don't know why we don't do it. I know that, like I said, there's a lot of stodgy people who just turn their nose up at it. But then those same people turn their nose up at anything. Like they're just waiting for something to gripe about. They're just waiting for that thing they can gripe about. You guys know those people. You know those people. And if you don't know those people, be careful that you're not the person, right? Be careful that you're not that person because nobody likes that person. You know that guy, you know that person. Every time you, like, we all have that one friend. Every time you say, hey, I got this idea for something, they're the first one to find every negative thing about your idea and try to shoot it down. They're always looking at the negative side to it instead of going, well, that's an interesting idea. What can you do to help build that up? Instead of having that positive reinforcement, they're quick to just undercut it, right? I'll be honest with you. I cut those people out of my life. I do. Like I put those people on the back burner of important people in my life. I like uplifting people. I like people who are uplifting themselves and try to uplift others, like supportive people who, at least if you tell an idea to, oh, that's cool, that's fascinating, tell me a little bit about it. Well, if you need, you're going to bounce ideas off somebody, here I am. People like that, I love. People who may not understand anything you're talking about or wanting to do, but they're there for you anyway. I support you. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how that works, but I'm here for you, buddy. Let's go. Those are the best people. Those to me are the absolute best people. They are. Those are the people I like to be around, personally, because they're the cool folks. They're the folks that say, hey, well, I don't understand what you're doing. Don't understand what you're saying. But okay. All right. Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's talk about it, I guess. Explain to me again what we're talking about. I love that. I love people like that. I do. And then there are stories that bring me hope for people. I'm a hunter, right? I love to hunt. And what I unalive, I eat. Right? I believe that's the thing. I don't go out there just to hunt. If I'm going to hunt and I love doing it, I make sure that whatever I take goes into my freezer and helps support the family. That's just how I view it. You don't have to view it that way. It's just how I do it. It's what I view. Otherwise, I don't see the point. Is the hunt fun? Yes, it is. But again, I like the going out and being able to have that meat in the freezer. But then you come across things like this. In Maine, they rescued a bull moose that fell into an abandoned well. That's right. It was a 5-hour rescue that this bull moose falls into this well and they rescue this big joker. Now, this wasn't one of those big bull mooses with you've seen them, right? These massive racks on their head that stretch for like 8 feet, right? Those big monsters. It wasn't that. Now, they had to sedate the thing. They had to sedate it because there's no way you're getting in there because it's already panicking. It can't speak the language. It don't know what you're trying to do. For all it knows, you're one of those people trying to eat it. Like this poor moose had no idea what was about to happen. So they sedate it, and then they get it out of the hole and save it. And that is pretty cool. So what happened on this property, they had no idea it was on their property. So it's like decades old. But the moose fell into it. Now, I don't know how they saw the moose fall into it. That's what, from the story I got, I didn't see that. Oh, I do see. Okay, so guy was walking his property, spotted a pair of antlers and heard a noise, went to check it out, and saw these antlers inside the bushes. It's just peeking out of the hole of the well. So luckily for this bull moose, it didn't fall deep down the well. It was stuck right there on top. And so he couldn't get it out himself, went and got help, and it became a rescue operation, which they did. How cool is that? I think that's the coolest thing. I think it's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome that you're going to go do that. These big, huge monster creatures, and they just go and they save it, and they save it. I think that's awesome. I can't be the only one that thinks that, but that's awesome to me. Now, sadly, we got more violence in this country. And we had the shooting at the ABC Center. We had another lady that just got arrested plotting a shooting at a church. And now, this morning, there's 3 people been shot at an immigration facility in Dallas. The shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And it's like, come on, man. What good do you actually think you're doing? That's my problem with people like this. What good do you actually think you're doing? I mean, this has got to stop. People like this need to be stopped. That's tough. I mean, right now we don't have a lot. They're still working on the investigation. They don't know if there's an employee, a civilian, or a detainee who did this. Like, they have no idea. There's multiple injuries and fatalities is all we know right now. This is as of 18 minutes ago. This was just updated, as a matter of fact, about 2 minutes ago. So, wow, yeah. I mean, that's kind of tough. And then, of course, we had Jimmy Kimmel last night back on the airwaves, all emotional. Trying to say it was never his intention to make light of the murder of a young man. He said, I don't think there's anything funny about it, but he never apologized. He never apologized. And he's going to say that for the actions of what was obviously a deeply disturbed individual, because he was trying to say he wasn't blaming any specific group, except he did. He did. He come out and he said, one of their own. And here's the thing about Kimmel. This idiot had no problem having Roseanne Barr kicked off for the exact same kind of thing. When she made her comments, he was praising them, kicking her off the air and taking her off her show. All for it. But when it came to him, oh, it's different. It's different. Here's the thing. I am all for speaking your mind and saying what you want to say. You're allowed to do that in this country. But that does not mean that you can just say whatever and you're immune from the consequences of the things you say. All right? You have every right to say them. But that doesn't mean you're immune from the consequences of the things you say. Guys, I don't know why this is even controversial. Because what happens is you say these things, and then people rebel against your business as a business owner. You don't want that out there. And again, he uses this as a way to try to boost more ratings. So, and this is a thing, again, that I don't like. I don't think Kimmel should have been taken off the air. And I don't think, as much as I disagree with him, as unfunny as he's become and such a political lightning rod and the lies he tells, I don't think he should have been taken off the air. Just like I don't think Roseanne should have been taken off the air. So, again, I don't agree with anything that he said. I thought it was in poor taste. But as a believer in the Constitution and the First Amendment, I don't think he should have been taken off air. And I think the fallout from what it should be what it is. Like if Sinclair doesn't want to put him back on air on their markets, then they shouldn't. That's their choice. Their right to do so. You know, I'm all for it. I think there are certain types of people that are going to believe his BS anyway. Certain types of people who are just going to believe everything that they shovel out because there's a lot of sheep in this country who cannot think for themselves. That's painful, but it's how it is. It's just how it is. And so when that happens, and it happens, buddy, you just have to deal with the consequences of it. But I don't think people should be silenced for the things that they say like that. Unless there is a direct intent to hurt somebody, I don't believe you should be silenced for it. That to me is the key. That to me is the key. Like, if you threaten somebody, that's different. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. We don't need that crap. But if you're just voicing an opinion on what you like and don't like and people you like, I don't care. I just choose not to watch the show. But I don't think you should be taken off the air for that. As much as I don't care for you, the First Amendment says you have a right to say what you want to. Now, these businesses have a right whether to accept you for that or not. That's the other part of it. Like, you are free to voice your opinion, but that doesn't mean that when you work for somebody, they have to like what you say and host what you say. There's that. There's that. So, we have it. It's just, you have to be careful and realize that what you say can and will be used against you, not just in a court of law, but in a court of public opinion. And when it comes to business. So feel free to speak your mind. Just don't be surprised when what you say comes back on you. To me, the biggest reason I don't like Kimmel is because, one, he does lie a lot. The other thing he is a hypocrite. That whole thing with Roseanne Barr and him coming out saying it's unfair, but he was all for it. All for it when it happened to Roseanne. It's hypocritical. And that, I think that's the thing I hate more than anything is hypocrites. I just don't like hypocrite. If you're gonna be a butthead, then just at least be a butthead continuously, like, so we know. But don't lie about it. Don't be a hypocrite about it. All right, just be what you're gonna be. That way I can know, okay, that dude, he can stay over there, out of my circle. Out of my circle. All right, for our prayer chain this morning, I'm going to add Z into it. We talked about yesterday, America. Always praying for America. And for Lex, praying for you, buddy. Out there, lots going on. Lots of good vibes, praying for good vibes and safety for you guys out there as you make your way through every day. And as we get into that, I want to play this one from Michael Bates because I really like it's Love Arrogant. And I like this one. I hope you guys like it. I think this is going to be a good one. Let me know what y'all think about it. This is In View of Eternity with Michael Bates. Let's check it out.
Good morning to you, everyone. Thank you for listening to In View of Eternity. I'm your host, Michael Bates. Hope you've had a good and safe weekend. We're in the midst of an outstanding Bible text, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And it tells us really about four things about love. It tells us what love is and what love is not. And it tells us what love does and then what love does not do. A very, very helpful passage. Obviously, we want to be more like the nature of our God. 1 John 4 and verse 8, God is love. But also we're taught to love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then we're told to love our neighbor as ourselves. And so love is just an integral part of the life of a Christian and really commanded of all men. That's how God's commands are written, by the way. They're for everybody. The one in 1 Corinthians 13:4, the word about love that we want to focus in on today, after having looked at how love is patient or long-suffering, how love is kind, how love does not envy, how love does not boast, this next one, boy, is so jointly connected with the previous about boasting. They really could have been one lesson. But love is not arrogant. Being boastful is one of the outsourcing, I guess you could say, or overflows of an arrogant person. A person who is arrogant can't help but to share what all's so good about them with everybody else. Hence comes the boasting. But a concept of being arrogant is that I have put myself up above others. Can you imagine a marriage, which is, by the way, to be built on love, but yet one of those individuals is so full of themselves that they lift themselves up above everybody, including their spouse? That they lift themselves up above the needs, their wants are far greater than that of their spouse or their children or anybody else. Well, those relationships are not going to be very healthy where arrogance is involved. Proverbs 16:18 tells us this: pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. May we look within ourselves very deeply. And do I have any root of arrogance in my heart? If so, I ought to be praying very diligently that God would help me remove it. I wouldn't want that destroying the other people around me or those relationships that I should value the highest in this world. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm Michael Bates.
That's Michael Bates, In View of Eternity. And I just wanted to add this to the prayer chain. I got a message. And I'm not going to share the entirety of the message. And this is a friend of mine, someone I've known for a long time, her and her family. And I just want to say, add them to the prayer chain, prayers for her and her kids, and her family and herself, and for all that they're going through right now. Pray that God takes y'all all through this. And so with Lex, with America, with Zen, I hope that God finds y'all well, strengthens you, keeps you in his grace. And it's tough, and thank you for sharing that with me through Messenger. That will stay between us, and God is in control. And whatever we're dealing with on this earth, whatever it is we're dealing with on this earth, just know that there's a reason for that, and whether that comes out the way we want it to or not, just know that there's that reason for it. And I'll always believe that. But your faith is everything. It's a beautiful thing. And God be with you all on that. And if you know, once again, if you know somebody who needs these prayers every day, we do this at 8:50 in the morning. And we're going to do this going forward. Whether you're a prayer person or not, whether you're a believer or not, and you just think you just need good vibes, that's fine. Because some of us are true believers and we just believe it. and we believe in the power of it. And I'd love nothing but to wish you guys the best anyway. That is what's cool to me. And that's what we shall keep on doing, and we'll keep on striving for. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again this morning to Undefined Voices. I have loved doing this show. It has really been something I've needed, to be honest with you, doing this show, getting up, getting some structure back, and doing something for I love Undefined. I love the thought of this Undefined radio station. And over the past couple, ever since my mother passed away, it just hasn't been the same. I have been on mental decline. I mean, everything's just been walking in a fog for the last 5 years. You put on the smiling face, you put on all this stuff, but everything has been a fog. And it's easy to get in that fog and dwell in that fog. It's easy to get in those low places and stay in those low places. And when you keep all that bottled up inside, it just grows. It's its own special type of cancer, right? It's a cancer of the soul. It just eats away at you. But thankfully, there's a cure for it. There is a cure for it. And there's several ways you can do that. You can go talk to somebody. You can talk to God. You can pray. You can go to church. But talk to somebody. Open up. Be willing to face that head on. The worst thing you can do is act like there's not a problem when you know good and well there is. It's the only way to ever overcome anything. And I, for one, fully believe, we as human beings are capable of overcoming so much. We just have to put our minds to it. We're the one creature on this planet able to do all of that. It is a wondrous place in which we live. We live in the absolute greatest country in the entire world, where we are free to do the things we want to. I see so many excuses about how this country is terrible and we don't have right. We have all the rights in the world. Nobody is as free as we have. Nobody has the freedoms we have. You just have to apply yourself. And getting your health right is another one of those things. You have to apply yourself to do it. There are so many resources out there available for you to do that. But the first step is recognizing it, open up and saying, look, I need to be better. And this radio station means the world to me. We have hardly any listeners. That's not true. I mean, we have our steady listeners, but I want to get back to how we started. We had those hundreds of thousands of listeners when I first started the show, this station. And my goal is to get back to that. It doesn't have to be that big, but I want this nice community growing back the way it was, because we are a community radio station. If you want to do a show, DM me. Let's talk about it. If you want to be interviewed for a show, DM me. Let's talk about it, and I'll get you on here. I believe in saying yes. You'll hardly ever hear me say no. I believe in the power of yes, of just being positive and doing it. And so I pray that's what you guys do in your life. Find that power of yes. All right. Find that power of being positive. Stop looking at the world so negatively. Yes, there are bad things that happen, but look at all the great stuff we have. Look at all the beautiful things around you every single day. They're there. They're there. They're everywhere around you. You just have to want to see them. You have to want to believe it. Guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in this morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We got football picks. We got all kinds of fun stuff happening tomorrow. So be with us. Have a safe day out there. Be safe wherever you're at. God bless you. That's it. And I will check back with you guys tomorrow morning.
I don't want to tell them what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking.
Shut up, boo.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth. It's all